Meghan Markle warned over the risk of kiss of death for Spotify deal ahead of Archetypes. Meghan Markle has been warned there could be damaging consequences if she released a podcast that doesn't meet the expectation of the public. The Duchess of Sussex is expected to release her first podcast produced exclusively for Spotify this year. The streaming giant announced in March that Meghan's first audio program would be titled Archetypes. Spotify said the podcast would be released this summer, without specifying a date. However, more than 4 months after the podcast's trailer sparked a frenzy, Meghan has not yet released the final product. My daughter is a young engineer. The men at work are mainly wonderful, including all the much-maligned old white men. Yes, she hits probs now and then, but she deals with it. She also has everything in her favor and often feels the guys find it harder to get hired than the girls. I'm a bit late with all this poor women stuff. It's moved on, new probs now. Brand and reputation management expert Eric Schiffer believes the wait is due to the fact the Duke and Duchess want to make sure they are only releasing products of great quality. To get this first release wrong, the California-based commentators said, could endanger their careers in entertainment. Judging from the overview of Archetypes quoted in the article, I can't see any entertainment or uplifting happening there. The subject matter is just a fancy description of yet another negative moan about something we already know. It's far too late to lecture the public on women's rights. Individuals and groups have and continue to work in this area already, we are educated, and debates are well known. In fact, gears have shifted and other fronts are emerging. How relevant is the origin of stereotypes today? So far, Meghan's approach to entertainment and communication in the modern world seems somewhat old-fashioned. I am looking for a word for boring. As for her engaging audiences around the world, she's pushing it at this point in time. Isn't she? She's already shown the world what she's deficient in. Mr. Schiffer does not believe the wait is putting off Meghan's fans, who will continue to be eager to listen to Archetypes whenever she is ready to release it. Rather, he suggested, it's wise for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's future with Spotify if they take time to polish their products. He told Express.co.uk, I imagine they are working on making sure that it's a product of excellence so that it's not a threat to the survival of their partnership with Spotify, and it won't be the kiss of death of their entertainment career. They are focusing on quality right now, he continued. If you try to get a career in entertainment and your shows are bombing, that doesn't help you, nor does it help the partnership with Spotify. Mr. Schiffer added Meghan will have many people analyzing every single detail of her podcast given her popularity across the globe. He added, they are going to be careful and make sure that it is done with quality. Her base will be there when it's out. Meghan and Harry announced to have signed a multi-year deal with Spotify in late 2020. This partnership will see the pair produce content through their audio-first production company Archwell Audio, aimed to uplift and entertain audiences around the world and spotlight diverse perspectives and voices. The Sussexes have so far released only a special holiday episode at the end of December 2 years ago, during which they reflected on the year just past. They also had an array of celebrity guests, including Sir Elton John, sharing their stories and thoughts. The end of the episode also featured Archie Harrison, the Sussexes' son, wishing listeners a Happy New Year. As announced in the spring, Archetypes will investigate the labels that try to hold women back and feature historians and experts to uncover the origin of these stereotypes and have uncensored conversations with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape narratives. The one-minute trailer released in March featured the Duchess' voice. After playing some disparaging words and labels that have been historically used to address women, Meghan can be heard saying, "This is how we talk about women, the words that raise our girls, and how the media reflects women back to us." But where do these stereotypes come from? And how do they keep showing up and defining our lives? She added, I am Meghan and this is Archetypes, the podcast where we dissect, explore, and subvert the labels that try to hold women back. He'll have conversations with women who know all too well how these typecasts shape our narratives. And they'll talk to historians to understand how we even got here in the first place. In 2020, Meghan and Harry also signed a deal with Netflix and the Duke is currently working on the docu-series Heart of Invictus. Mr. Schiffer added Meghan will have many people analyzing every single detail of her podcast given her popularity across the globe. Popularity across the globe? Is this been written by Meghan herself? What popularity? The vast majority of the globe despises her. They will be analyzing every single detail, alright. And that is the reason it has not been released yet. Like everything Meghan does, it failed quality control. Spotify already made that mistake once with these two, and at the time they still carried HRH titles. So this is expected to be released in the summer. Will we witness the longest summer in history? Will this be taking us beyond November, December? They are going to be careful and make sure that it is done with quality. We know Meghan's quality through the Bench of Stench book. Read Burr's book. You will find her acting is so wooden that she got no jobs in Hollywood. Just the one in Toronto, and a few spots on adverts. A lot of stuff she auditioned for ended up in the bin. Meghan's fans, Omid, Shola, Genevieve Roth, Eugenie, Alice Scarce, Sunshine Sachs. Although with all the PR blunders and disasters one might question if SS is currently working for Harry and Meghan or against them, so no worries about content Markle. Anything will be good enough. These lot would listen to your bowel moments in your 16 toilets and be in an ecstatic frenzy. The American is a weak, thin-skinned former actress. She made a living portraying a woman using her physical attributes to get ahead. Bleating about her grievances, and mental instability while destroying families in her path is not the kind of human I want to emulate. Forgive me if her female empowerment crusade seems a stellar contradiction to her actions and one I have no interest in supporting. She has done that and written to them. They continue to defy her. What's she supposed to do? Off with their heads? She's not a dictator there in America, and are both fully grown adults with their own consequences of actions. Titles will go when Charles is king. People expecting a 96-year-old woman to do such a drastic thing at her age is cruel. Meg and Harry show us who they are. I was the only female engineer over 100 decades ago. The best part of a long career. My male colleagues were always wonderful. Yes, there were conversations going on that I would have complained to HR about. So what? Any woman who has a semblance of intelligence knows that men and women are different strains of the same species. Fact. They can, and often does, moderate by deleting a whole post if they decide it is unacceptable for some reason, but you, the poster, can edit your own post within 5 minutes of posting by hitting the little dots to the upper right of each post. You will see the time ticking down there. Wendy Fran, you need to hover in the upper right-hand corner for the dots to appear and then click on the word edit or the little pencil icon. The podcast will flop, like everything else they do. Why? They have no talent. Everything they produce is a negative, angry message that turns boring. We need positive, happy news. They are miserable people who just can't provide it. What a load of BS. Harry and Meghan are not making sure that it's a product of excellence so that it's not a threat to the survival of their partnership with Spotify, because there is nothing to make excellent. Harry and Meghan have not produced anything, ever, which is why their entertainment career is over with Spotify and Netflix. Harry and Meghan sold them both a bunch of rubbish and they couldn't deliver because the RF put a stop to it. They went home empty-handed and are now on the hook for what was fronted to them for their projects. The inarticulate Meghan should have named the program Stereotypes, based on her description of the show. Meghan is always negative, as is evidenced by her description of the nature of the program. I wonder if she has ever considered a positive step. Meghan has no idea how to actually benefit women, so we will be subjected to more of the same victim mentality. It is hardly surprising that Harry continues to be a negative basket case, with Meghan's influence in his life.